faded north that we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive.
Talking Vols, going to talk a little basketball this morning. I am the Indy Kid coming at you. Appreciate you guys tuning in, listening. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, and make sure you leave me a comment at the bottom. Coming at you with the old emoji today instead of in the room with the posters on the wall. But glad to come at you with some good positive news for the UT men's basketball team. Big transfer this morning as Auburn grad transfer, and let me just pull the screen up here with you. Justin Powell of Auburn commits to Tennessee this morning. It says right here, this is badly what they missed. A guy that can shoot 6'6" freshman from Auburn, originally out of Prospect, Kentucky. He entered the portal. He'll be coming to Tennessee from Auburn. He averaged 11.7 points, 4.7 assists, 6.1 rebounds, and an injury-short season. That's a guy that can do it all right there. He did only play 10 games there, but, the interesting thing is going to see, how does the transfer – normally if you transfer within the conference, you got to sit out a year right here. But I'm not sure, they've still yet to approve the one-time transfer window and things of that nature. So be really interested to see how that turns up. But this is a big get for Tennessee right here. They need shooting. They need guys that can put the ball in the basket, guys that can create. This is that type of guy right here. Good size, excellent shooter. It's a guy last year, he shot, 42% from field goal, 44.2% from three-point range. That's pretty good. And this team, as we know, needs three-point shooting in a bad way right there. So, Tennessee is and I expect more to come. I've said it on here multiple times over the last couple of weeks since the season ended. You had Devontae Gaines entered the portal. You had Drew Pember entered the portal. I still wouldn't be surprised to see more attrition from the team. Based on everybody's, of course, Jaden Springer, he is declared and hired an agent, so he's gone to the NBA. I expect Keon Johnson's going to do the same probably any day now. Expected he'll enter, and I would imagine he'll hire an agent as well. Both these guys seems like for sure. Keon Johnson, everything I've seen has been listed as a top 10 pick. So, we can say they're ready or whatnot. These guys are making the right decision. You got a chance to be a first-round pick, you go. And, any of us would do it, or at least I think so. I know I would. If I had a chance at that, that's my goal in my profession. I'm going to go early and get the money while I can, because you're not guaranteed that first-round pick after this year, because who knows what can happen. You take it while it's there. And, this program needs that. You need that in as long as there's this one-and-done rule. We need those type players to come in. Now, do you want guys to stay and develop? Absolutely, but those elite guys are coming in with the intention that they're playing 1 year and going to the NBA right there. I don't necessarily agree with it. I would like to see the rule like baseball. You either go to the NBA or you commit to, 2 to 3 years. I think it's 3 years. Maybe it's 2 now on that. I would like to see that route put in. I think it would allow programs a little more. But let's face it, man, and this is going on in football too. With college basketball, we're entering a true free agency time in college basketball. That's basically what this transfer portal is free agency. And, if it doesn't work one place, you go somewhere else and play. And, that's right. I mean, we think about it from just an academic standpoint. How many times how many countless friends of mine have I known have gone to UT and they couldn't make it down there, so they transferred back to ETSU or Northeast State or something like that. So, it's the same difference. It's these guys' rights. And, some of them probably leave on their own. Some of them are probably encouraged to leave. I think it happens every year in programs where you see guys leaving some catch off guard, some don't. And, this Tennessee program they need more big guys. Of course, there's some guys with decisions to make. I think Eve Pons is gone. I can't see where he's coming back because he flirted pretty heavily with leaving last year. Fulkerson and Anasicki, I'm curious to see what happens with those guys. I know Fulkerson, you got to think he would be welcome back with open arms. And Fulkerson, he's already said it. He's either coming back to Tennessee or he's going pro. He's not going somewhere else to play because he's all vol. And, part of me would love to see him come back and get some redemption because he had a down year this year. I think there were multiple circumstances for that. I would love to see him come back and get redemption. I think he would be welcome. I just don't know about Anasicki. Maybe he could add something to it. But, this is a guy that wasn't even playing at the end of the year, and I thought he was supposed to add something to it. I still go back to the decision of they took Anasicki, yet that whole time needed a point guard who could create. And there was a guy from close nearby, Mac McClung, who came from Georgetown. I don't know what he ended up going to Texas Tech, but I think he could have made a big difference. He would have been a point guard who could have added another element to that team. He can shoot, he can score. I don't know. I don't think that decision worked out too well right there. I believe McClung could have added a lot where Anasicki, he didn't add anything right there. And, really not many of the post guys did add anything last year. So, moving forward, I think there's still some guys with decisions to make. I'll be curious to see who leaves. I could see 1 to 2 more leaving. Obviously Corey Walker didn't play last year. He was a pretty highly thought of prospect coming out. What does he do? I think the rest of the guys, if I look over, let's see, kind of look over who's remaining here. I think, Bailey's coming back. Josiah-Jordan James is coming back. Scovey's coming back. Some of these forwards is what I would be curious to see about because not a lot of them really played a lot. And we said going in when Fulkerson got hurt, we figured, Olivier Kamha would be the one who benefited from it. It was really Uros Plavsic who benefited from it. So, Corey Walker, he's a freshman, didn't play. Vescovi will be back. Springer's gone. Just kind of looking over the roster we got here right now. We'll pull that roster up and we'll look at it together. All right, so you got Anasicki. Curious to see what happens there. I know it's been said that he'll come back, but don't know whether he does or not. Victor Bailey will be back. Curious to see what happens with Fulkerson right here. I think he's got a decision to make. I don't know what his prospects are at this point. Obviously, would love to see him come back and get redemption. Devontae Gaines has entered the transfer portal. Kent Gilbert's a walk-on. Josiah-Jordan James, he'll be back. Brock Jancic, walk-on. Keon Johnson, I think it's a matter of time before he's gone. Cole Morris, walk-on. Olivier Kamha. I would imagine he'll be back, but, I'm curious to see on that. He's a guy who really didn't play a ton last year, but I know I think they're pretty high on him, actually. So maybe he's a guy who could flourish this year. And, when we saw Grant Williams and Schofield and those guys leave, we did see some development from Pons and Fulkerson. Saw some guys kind of step it up. So maybe Kamha, maybe it's his time to step it up. Drew Pember's in the portal. Plavsic, I think based on where it was at, and Rick Barnes said at the end of the year that he was really starting to get it. So I think he'll be a factor next year. Pons, I can't see coming back. Springer's gone. Isaiah Sulak, I'm guessing he's a walk-on. Vescovi will be back, and Walker. Curious to see what happens with him right there as well. So, a lot of stuff going on with this roster right now, and what's going to happen with it. And Tennessee can add. Will they go try to add someone out of the 2021 class? There's still Bradley Huntley Hatfield, who may reclassify. Tennessee has gotten some of the predictions for him. That would be a huge pickup as well. I think that, at the end of the year, we talked about it, and I was worried about this roster going forward. But there's one thing about it. There's a stud point guard coming in Kennedy Chandler. He's leading his high school right now. Sunrise Christian has led him to the national championship game. And so and he's been the star of that. You know, I've seen Morant from the Grizzlies was tweeting about Vols. Y'all got a good one coming, and I think this guy's going to be an instant big-time player for Tennessee, and I think you might as well get used to probably 1 year and done with him, and that's fine. Again, you need guys like that. The last one we had like that was Tobias Harris, and that was, 11 years ago. Now you've had 2 this year. That's going to stand out to recruits because they want to get to the NBA. Other things is there's roster attrition, but there's also coaching attrition. Kim English takes over at George Mason as the head coach. And then this is an interesting one to me right here that's going right now is that Desmond Oliver is the front runner for the ETSU job right now. So, that's not one I really expected right there based on everything's going on. We're not going to get into that or anything, but, from what I was just reading about it says, they think he's reportedly the front runner and, it may be his job to lose if he wants to. He was one of the finalists, it says here, for Winthrop, which ended up going to Western Carolina's Mark Prosser as well. It was thought that maybe Winthrop would go there. So, of course, ETSU, unexpected opening with Jason Shea this week. And tough situation, man. Just a tough situation. And I just hope that, everybody, again, this is no debate. This is no political stuff or anything. I just hope that everybody can come together. And we can all come together. So much hate going on right now and stuff. But, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But, just wanted to bring that up. So please, guys, I'm not meant to make it political or nothing like that. But, yeah, Des Oliver, that would be a loss. But, also right here, it's said that looks like Rod Clark, who's an Austin P assistant, is the lead, that he's probably at any time going to be named assistant coach under Barnes. He's in with that Sunrise Christian program, which Kennedy Chandler comes in. So it says with him that, he'll add instant recruiting. He'll add instant ties right there. And he's a pretty well thought of coach as well. And then if Des Oliver takes the ETSU job, then you'll have another opening as well. And names I've heard on that prior was Jarvis Hayes and his brother, who's at Xavier right now. First name's not on my, can't think of it right now, but I have seen those guys as potential candidates as well. But so much going on with Tennessee basketball right now, reshaping the roster, I think. And, I said it was, you got to look in the mirror to see what you're going to do, what's going to happen right there. Where does Tennessee go after the season, which was a big disappointment? Getting Justin Powell was a big first step right there. You got Kennedy Chandler coming. You got the Maschak kid coming from out of California, who I think is more of an athlete right now. Could be wrong on that. And then, decisions out of guys like Fulkerson and things like that could, greatly impact the program. And then there's definitely going to be more coming from the transfer portal. It's just a matter of who and where they come from. But, when news breaks, we'll come back to you and cover that. But, again, appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, and be on the lookout as Vols JP dropped a recruiting video for football this morning. Make sure you check that out. Good stuff that he brought this morning. I'll be back with you with the Rocky Top recap tomorrow. Not a good start for the Vols baseball team over Alabama last night. Hopefully they can rebound and take the next 2 today. But, a lot of good stuff going on Rocky Top, spring practice in full gear. Be on the lookout for live shows sometime next week. But in the meantime, you guys enjoy your Saturday. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow.
Howl like we poets sat in arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we call home. And it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive. The dogs howl like we poets sat in arcade, soaking moonlit smashed and broken.